It began as a whisper in the data, an anomaly that defied explanation. A region of space colder than it should be, a blemish on the otherwise uniform canvas of the cosmic microwave background. This is the CMB cold spot, a vast expanse of nothingness hundreds of millions of light years across. For years, scientists dismissed it as a statistical fluke, a trick of the light from the dawn of time, a random fluctuation in the primordial soup of the universe. But a more terrifying possibility has emerged, one that suggests this is not an artifact from the past, but a glimpse of the future. This could be the first tangible evidence that our universe is not eternal. It is a sign of decay, a bruise from another cosmos, an omen that the end has already begun. The standard model of cosmology tells us the universe is expanding, and that expansion is accelerating due to a mysterious force we call dark energy. But the model is silent on the ultimate conclusion of this process. The cold spot might be the first clue, a tear in the fabric of what we thought we knew. It could be a scar from a collision, not with something from within our universe, but from outside of it. A bubble universe existing in a higher dimensional space known as the bulk may have bumped into our own in the distant past. This impact would have pushed energy out of the region, like two soap bubbles colliding and deforming, leaving behind a vast, cold void. If this is true, it means we are not alone in the multiverse, but it also means that our reality is fragile, subject to the whims of cosmic events on a scale we can barely imagine. A ship adrift on an ocean with other unseen vessels. The end of the universe is a concept that has haunted humanity since we first looked at the stars and understood that even they must die. But it was always a distant, abstract idea, a philosophical point for future generations, trillions of years away. The theory of the Big Crunch suggested that gravity would eventually halt the expansion and pull everything back together into a single point, a fiery apocalypse that would reset the cosmos in a new Big Bang. But observations of dark energy have all but ruled this out. Instead, we are faced with a different, colder, and perhaps more terrifying fate, the Big Freeze, or the heat death of the universe. In this scenario, the expansion driven by dark energy never stops. In fact, it continues to accelerate. Galaxies will fly so far apart that the light from one will never reach another. The sky for any observer in the distant future will become empty and dark. Stars will exhaust their fuel, bloating into red giants before collapsing into white dwarfs, neutron stars, or black holes. One by one, they will die out. The universe will become a cold, dark, and lonely place, populated only by these stellar corpses and the decaying remnants of matter. Eventually, over timescales so vast they make the current age of the universe seem like an instant, even the black holes will evaporate through a process called Hawking radiation, leaving behind a bath of low-energy particles. A final uniform temperature just a fraction of a degree above absolute zero will permeate all of space. A state of maximum entropy where no work can be done, where no change is possible. The universe will not end in a bang, but in a slow, silent fade to black. An eternal, unchanging darkness, a final, perfect equilibrium of nothingness. This slow decay is a horrifying prospect, but the cold spot hints at something more immediate, more violent. The idea of a multiverse collision is just one interpretation. Another, even more exotic theory involves a concept called vacuum decay or the Big Slurp. The universe, according to this theory, is not in a truly stable state. It exists in a false vacuum, a state of energy that is stable for now, but not the lowest possible energy state. Think of it as a ball resting in a small divot on the side of a large hill, rather than at the bottom of the valley. It is stable, but a strong enough push could send it rolling down to a much lower, more stable state. If a small region of the universe were to tunnel through to the true vacuum, either through a random quantum fluctuation or an external trigger, it would create a bubble of this new, lower energy state. This bubble would expand at the speed of light, destroying everything in its path. Inside the bubble, the laws of physics as we know them would cease to exist. The fundamental constants of nature could be different, meaning atoms could not form, matter would dissolve into a chaotic soup of elementary particles. We would not see it coming. There would be no warning. One moment our galaxy is here, the next it is wiped from existence, rewritten by a new and hostile set of physical laws that do not support the structures of life or matter. The cold spot could be a sign that such a bubble has already formed in a distant part of the cosmos, and its gravitational effects on the large-scale structure of the universe are just now becoming visible to us. It could be a harbinger of a cosmic plague that is spreading through reality itself, a wave of destruction traveling at the ultimate speed limit, unstoppable and absolute. The implications are staggering. We are living on borrowed time in a universe that is fundamentally unstable. The very fabric of our existence could be torn apart at any moment without warning. This is not science fiction. This is a possibility rooted in the mathematics of quantum field theory, the search for a deeper understanding of the universe. The precise measurements of particles like the Higgs boson is not just an academic pursuit. It is a race for survival. By continuing our exploration of the cosmos, we seek to understand these ultimate threats. If you believe this journey is important, that we must continue to probe the deepest secrets of our reality, then join our community. Subscribe to CosmoQuest 888 and be sure to activate the bell for all notifications. You will become part of a crew dedicated to not just admiring the stars, but understanding the fundamental rules that govern them and us. Your support fuels our quest to map the unknown, to face the existential questions that define our place in the universe. We are travelers on a cosmic sea, and there are storms on the horizon we must try to understand. Perhaps the cold spot is not a sign of the end, but a gateway to understanding a different kind of cosmic structure. The most straightforward explanation, though still deeply strange, is that the spot is simply a supervoid, a vast region almost entirely empty of galaxies. The Eridanus supervoid, as it is also known, is so large and so empty that it seriously challenges our models of cosmic structure formation. Over the 13.8 billion years since the Big Bang, gravity should have pulled more matter into this region. Its profound emptiness suggests that something is pushing it apart, a force beyond our current understanding, perhaps a localized and unusually powerful manifestation of dark energy. Or perhaps it is the home of something we cannot see, a concentration of dark matter so immense and diffuse that it has warped the structure of the cosmos around it, preventing normal matter from coalescing into galaxies. It is a mystery that deepens the more we look at it. It is a wound in the sky, a place where the universe seems to have forgotten to create. And in that emptiness, in that cold, we see a reflection of the ultimate fate of all things in the Big Freeze scenario. The universe is expanding into a future of cold and darkness, and the cold spot is a preview of what is to come. A future where all the light and warmth and complexity we see around us will be gone, scattered into an endless, empty void. It is a chilling premonition written into the oldest light in the universe. The timeline for these cosmic endings is vast, billions or even trillions of years away. But the discovery of the cold spot brings it into a new focus. It transforms the end of the universe from a philosophical concept into a tangible, observable phenomenon. We may be seeing the first cracks in the edifice of reality. This changes our perspective on our own existence. We are a fleeting moment of warmth and light in a universe that is destined for cold and darkness. It imbues our lives, our art, our science, with a new sense of urgency and preciousness. We are a brief, beautiful exception to the encroaching rule of cosmic entropy. The fact that we can even contemplate these questions, that a collection of atoms forged in the hearts of long-dead stars can look out into the void and see a reflection of its ultimate destiny, is a testament to the remarkable power of the human mind. We are the universe's way of knowing itself, even as it faces its own demise. We are the witnesses to the cosmic sunset, and we have a responsibility to see it through, to learn as much as we can, to tell the story of the universe before the lights go out for good. Every piece of knowledge gained, every piece of beauty created, is a small act of rebellion against the final, silent night. The study of these ultimate cosmic questions pushes the boundaries of our knowledge. It forces us to confront the limits of our theories and to imagine new possibilities. What if our universe is cyclical? The Big Crunch might be wrong, but perhaps there is another mechanism for rebirth. The Big Bounce theory proposes that the universe will expand to a certain point and then, as dark energy shifts its properties, begin to contract again, not to a singularity, but to a point of maximum density before bouncing back in a new Big Bang. In this model, the universe has no beginning and no end, only an eternal cycle of creation and destruction. Each universe could have slightly different physical laws, a cosmic evolution that tries out new possibilities with each cycle. Are we in the first universe or the billionth? Is there a memory of past universes encoded in the cosmos? Perhaps the cold spot is a remnant of a previous cycle, a scar that somehow survived the fiery rebirth of our own universe. A message from a cosmos that came before, a flaw in the cosmic ed that would hatch into our reality, hinting at a history that predates time itself. This would mean the end is not an end, but merely a transition, part of an infinite and majestic cosmic rhythm. What if the end is not a single event, but a series of cascading failures? The accelerating expansion of the universe could lead to a scenario known as the Big Rip. In this case, dark energy becomes so powerful that it overcomes not just the gravity between galaxies, but the gravity holding galaxies together. It would tear the Milky Way apart. Then, it would overcome the forces holding solar systems together, separating the Earth from the Sun. In the final moments, it would be strong enough to overcome the electromagnetic and nuclear forces, tearing atoms apart. The very fabric of space-time would be ripped to shreds. The cold spot in this view could be an area where dark energy is behaving differently, an early sign of the instability that will eventually lead to the Big Rip. It is a future where the universe is not just cold and empty, but violently torn asunder. Each of these end-of-the-world scenarios paints a different picture of our final moments, from a slow fade to a violent tear to a sudden overwrite. The cold spot remains a key piece of evidence, a mysterious clue that could point to any one of these fates. It is a focal point for our deepest anxieties about our cosmic destiny, a blank spot on the map marked only with the words, "Here be dragons." The cold of space is not just an absence of heat. It is a canvas upon which the ultimate story of the universe is being written. And we are learning, ever so slowly, to read the script.